99% of men miss these 20 signs a woman is trying to seduce them. Most men think they'd notice immediately if a woman was trying to seduce them. But here's the truth. Almost all of them miss it. Why? Because the signs aren't loud or obvious. They're subtle, hidden in tiny shifts of behavior, gestures, or even silence. And trust me, by the time we get down to number 1, you'll realize you've probably overlooked it more than once in your own life. New around here? You'll get daily dating advice tailored for men. Drop a comment to join the community, and don't forget to subscribe. 20. She elongates pauses just for you. In casual conversation, most people fill silences quickly, but when a woman is interested, she'll sometimes let her words hang in the air longer than usual. It's like she's creating a space for you to step in, but at the same time, she's testing if you'll hold her gaze during that quiet gap. That pause feels electric because it's deliberate. It turns the ordinary flow of talk into something slower, heavier, more charged. If you've ever felt that sense of something unsaid vibrating in the silence, chances are it wasn't by accident. Notice how suspenseful that quiet moment feels? That's the point. And if you ignore it, you'll miss one of the boldest seduction cues she can give without saying a word. But what comes next is even more revealing. 19. She tilts her head at unnatural angles. Most people tilt their heads slightly to show curiosity, but when attraction is in play, that tilt becomes exaggerated, almost as if she's framing herself for you. Sometimes it's a sharp lean, exposing the curve of her neck. Other times it's paired with a half smile that seems to hang on your reaction. Why does this matter? Because it's an ancient, unconscious display of vulnerability. The neck is one of the most delicate, instinctively guarded areas of the body. Showing it off, even for a second, is a primal act of trust. Think about it. If she angles her face in ways you wouldn't normally see, it's not random. It's a subtle performance meant to make you look closer. And speaking of looking closer, the next one makes men question if they imagined it. 18. She corrects your smallest details, but softly. Ever noticed a woman point out something minor about you? Maybe she says you wore those shoes last time, or you stirred your drink counterclockwise instead of clockwise. It sounds trivial, but here's the hidden layer. She's signaling attention to your tiny habits. It's not criticism. It's intimacy in disguise. She's tracking the parts of you most people ignore, weaving them back into the conversation so you know she noticed. The seduction isn't in the correction itself. It's in the softness of her tone when she delivers it. It carries a quiet familiarity, as if she's already inside your world. And if you dismiss it as just being observant, you'll miss the invitation behind it. Because the next sign shows she isn't just observing, she's rehearsing. 17. She mirrors, but only the imperfections. We've all heard of mirroring, copying someone's body language. But when seduction is at play, it's not the obvious moves she mimics. It's the flawed ones. If you stumble on a word, she might deliberately trip on one too. If you fumble with your sleeve, seconds later, she's tugging at hers. It's not coincidence. It's synchronization at the level of your mistakes. Why? Because copying your slip-ups makes you feel more comfortable. It lowers the stakes. Suddenly, you're not the only one messing up. Without realizing it, you start to feel safer with her. Most men never catch this. They only sense a strange ease, as if she's easy to be around. That comfort isn't accidental. It's strategic seduction. And comfort is just the start, because the next sign turns comfort into tension. 16. She interrupts herself for no reason. Imagine she's telling a story, then suddenly stops mid-sentence. She'll pause, glance at you, then resume, sometimes skipping part of what she was about to say. That disruption isn't because she forgot. It's because she wants you leaning forward, curious about the missing piece. The interruption plants a hook, a mystery, and in that space, your attention locks onto her. Here's what makes it seductive. She controls the rhythm. By breaking her own flow, she's setting the tempo of your curiosity. You're now dancing to her silence. Ever feel like someone's words drew you in, even when nothing special was said? That's this move at work. But what she does next makes it even harder to look away. 15. She exaggerates her stillness. Not fidgeting, not sipping, not moving, just perfectly still while you're talking. Why does this matter? Because stillness draws attention like a spotlight. When everyone else is shifting, scrolling, or adjusting, the person who freezes becomes magnetic. And when a woman chooses to do this while locked on you, it's not casual. It's a power move of seduction. She's saying, without words, "You have my full focus." That stillness turns you into the center of the moment. And whether you realize it or not, it makes your brain flag her as important. Think about it. When's the last time someone made you feel like the only thing in the room? That wasn't politeness. That was chemistry being engineered. And speaking of engineering chemistry, the next one flips the whole script. 14. She gives you delayed responses on purpose. Picture this. You ask her something simple, and instead of answering immediately, she lets a smile spread before responding. Or she pretends to be lost in thought, then replies in a way that feels rehearsed. That tiny delay has a purpose. It makes her answer feel chosen, not automatic. You interpret it as more meaningful, even if the words are simple. It's seduction disguised as hesitation. The lag makes you wonder what she was really thinking in that pause. And the human brain hates unresolved tension. So now you're hooked, replaying her tone, her smile, her delay. Most men dismiss this as her being distracted, but the ones who catch on realize she was in control the whole time. And the sign after this? It's even sneakier, because it hides in plain laughter. 13. She laughs at the wrong moment. Not the punchline, not the obvious joke, but somewhere slightly off, a beat too early or at a part that wasn't really funny. Why? Because it's not about the humor. It's about you. Her misplaced laugh is a way of inserting herself into your rhythm, almost marking her presence inside your story. And here's the kicker. Those offbeat laughs stand out in your memory. Later, you'll think back and recall not the content, but her reaction. That stickiness is intentional. She's making sure she lingers in your mind. If you've ever walked away wondering why someone's laugh echoed in your head, now you know why. But laughter is only one layer. The next sign gets physical in a way most men misinterpret entirely. 12. She adjusts objects instead of herself. Most guys expect flirtation through direct body language, leaning closer, touching her hair, crossing her legs. But the subtler sign, she shifts the environment around her. Maybe she slowly aligns her glass with yours, or moves her notebook closer until it brushes your space. Sometimes she even straightens an object on the table, only to set it in perfect symmetry with what you're holding. It's not clutter control, it's subconscious choreography. She's merging her world into yours without needing to say a word. Miss this, and you'll think she's just being tidy. Notice it, and you'll see the quiet pull she's orchestrating. And if you think that's subtle, the next one pushes subtlety into outright suggestion. 11. She references futures that never happened. This one slips past almost every man. She'll toss out lines like, "You'd probably get us lost if we ever traveled together," or, "If we had met years ago, we would have been in trouble." Notice the trick? She plants you inside hypothetical scenarios that don't exist, but the emotional weight feels real. For a moment, your brain lives in that shared future memory. It's not just playful banter. It's her testing how easily you'll picture the two of you together. If you join in, you've already stepped into the fantasy she built. And fantasies, well, they're the oldest seduction tool of all. But what she does next makes the fantasy feel less like a joke and more like a secret. 10. She lowers her voice, but only mid-conversation. If her tone drops suddenly in the middle of talking, don't ignore it. That shift isn't about volume, it's about intimacy. By dipping her voice, she forces you to lean in, creating a bubble where only you and she exist. The room fades, the world quiets, and even if the topic is ordinary, the delivery makes it feel like a confession. Most men chalk this up to background noise, but it's not. It's an intentional shrinking of the space between you. And the next sign makes that space even smaller, without touching you at all. 9. She delays her exit. Watch what happens when it's time to leave. She gathers her things, maybe even stands, but somehow doesn't quite go. She lingers, repositions, restarts a thread of conversation. That delay isn't indecision. It's a soft tether. Her way of saying, "I don't want this moment to end yet." The mistake most men make, assuming she's just being polite. If she wanted to go, she would. Seduction often hides not in arrivals, but in hesitations to leave. And when you start recognizing that hesitation, the next behavior becomes impossible to ignore. 8. She repeats your exact words, but under her breath. It happens so quickly you almost miss it. You say something, and seconds later she echoes it back, maybe as a whisper, maybe tucked into her laugh. This isn't mocking. It's mimicry, but intimate mimicry. By repeating your words, she's weaving your voice into hers. It creates a shared rhythm, a subtle way of aligning your mental frequencies. And here's the wild part. Your brain likes it. Studies show we trust people more when they mirror us linguistically. So while you think she's just playing around, she's actually deepening your attachment. But if you think whispering your words is strong, wait until you see how she uses silence in the next one. 7. She lets her eyes go unfocused, but only on you. We're used to eye contact meaning direct focus, but sometimes, seduction hides in the blur. She'll hold her gaze just past your eyes, as if she's looking through you instead of at you. That hazy look isn't daydreaming. It's a trance effect, a way of signaling that her attention on you has moved past surface level. It makes you feel like you're being absorbed, not just looked at. And it works. Most men feel flustered, even lightheaded, under that gaze. They don't realize it's deliberate. Because when a woman chooses to lose focus on the world, but only while facing you, that's no accident. And the next sign? It's even bolder, because it doesn't just change how she looks at you. It changes how she looks at herself. 6. She emphasizes her mistakes around you. This one's tricky. She spills her drink, fumbles a word, drops her pen. At first, it seems clumsy, but pay closer attention. Those slip-ups are often exaggerated, performed a little too obviously. Why? Because showing imperfection lowers the walls. It makes her more relatable, more human, less untouchable. And when those mistakes happen more often around you than anyone else, that's a cue. She's creating openings for you to step closer, to notice, to react. It's not weakness, it's strategic vulnerability. And if you're thinking that's subtle, wait until you see how she bends time itself in the next one. 5. She replays the moment before it's over. Ever noticed her circling back to something you just said? Not minutes later, but seconds. She'll make you repeat it, or she'll paraphrase it back with a smile like it's brand new. That repetition is more than interest. It's her way of stretching the present. Instead of moving forward, she's looping the moment so it lasts longer. Think about that. She's bending conversation just to keep you suspended together in the same pocket of time. Most men assume she didn't hear, but in reality, she heard too well. She just didn't want it to end. And if bending time sounds bold, what she does next warps the very space between you. 4. She creates invisible triangles. Her glance doesn't stay fixed on your eyes. Instead, it drifts. Eyes, then lips, then something lower, then back. That triangular pattern pulls your attention without you realizing it. It's not wandering, it's mapping. She's training your focus to follow hers, to explore the areas she's subtly pointing out. And here's the catch. She rarely does it more than once or twice. Too much, and it becomes obvious. But those fleeting triangle glances, they plant images in your mind that stay long after the conversation ends. And when you catch it, the effect is undeniable. But the real surprise comes next, because she doesn't just direct your gaze, she rearranges your role entirely. 3. She plays the audience. Instead of trying to outshine you, she reacts like you're the main performer. Little gasps, widened eyes, leaning back as if your ordinary story just hit her like a movie scene. Why is this seductive? Because she's amplifying your presence. She makes you feel larger than life, and we're wired to crave that reflection. The trick is, it's not fake. It's dramatized attention, stretched just enough to make you notice. And when someone makes you feel like the center of gravity, it's almost impossible not to be pulled closer. But if you think that's strong, the next sign shows how she can seduce you, even by ignoring you. 2. She withholds agreement. This one trips up nearly every man. Instead of nodding along, she'll deliberately hold back when you expect affirmation. She lets a micro-smile linger without confirming. Or she tilts her head as if to say, I'm not fully convinced. That resistance sparks tension. Suddenly, you're chasing her validation instead of passively receiving it. And here's the genius. By not agreeing, she elevates the value of every yes she eventually gives you. Scarcity breeds desire, and she's controlling the supply. Most men misread it as her being difficult. In reality, it's one of the sharpest seduction tools, because it flips the chase. And if you think withholding is powerful, wait until you hear the final sign. 1. She creates a private language with you. This is the sign nearly every man misses, because it doesn't look like seduction at all. It looks like inside jokes, half-finished sentences, or strange nicknames that only the two of you share. But here's the hidden truth. When a woman invents a shorthand that excludes the rest of the world, she's pulling you into an emotional cocoon. That private language isn't random. It's intimacy disguised as play. Think about it. When she teases you with a phrase no one else would understand, she's drawing a border around you and her against everyone else. That's not casual friendliness. That's seduction on the deepest level. Because she's not just connecting with you in the moment. She's building a separate universe that only the two of you can enter. And here's the twist. Once that private world exists, your brain starts to crave it. You find yourself replaying her phrases, smiling at the thought of those secret exchanges. That's how she lingers in your head long after she's gone. Miss this, and you'll think she's just being funny. Catch it, and you'll realize she's inviting you into a space that no one else gets access to. And that's the most powerful sign of all. Up next, discover the compliments women give when they want to sleep with you, or learn what she asks when flirting with you. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more.